Story about this administration being focused on eradicating American society of drugs is absolute BS.
We don't care about these dealers. We care about those dealers. That's weird, right, guys? Isn't that's let's talk about it.
Because Donald Trump went and pardoned, he's walking free now, the former Honduran president who trafficked 400 tons of cocaine into America. Why did he get to leave prison early? He had a 45-year sentence, which, by the way, Trump administration #1 prosecuted him because Roger Stone is his buddy and because he wrote Donald Trump a letter calling him Your Excellency and saying that they shared conservative values.
I think you're going to find that there's a very receptive ear to doing exactly what they're doing, taking out those boats. And very soon we're going to start doing it on land too, because we know every route, we know every house, we know where they manufacture this crap, we know where they put it all together, and I think you're going to see it very soon.
And to show you how similar Hegseth's comments are to the Democratic lawmakers he and other Republicans are now calling the seditious six, absurdly, we did a little editing, our amazing team, of all of them into one piece. And when you watch those two videos spliced together, you'll see that their message flows, well, pretty seamlessly.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
That's why the military said it won't follow unlawful orders from their commander-in-chief.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law or our Constitution.
A lot going on. First, we hear about what's going on with the boats, right? Airstriking the boat. Fast forward, we get 6 senators saying to our military, don't follow unlawful orders, that is within your oath, which it is. Then you hear the whole propaganda machine saying, hey, they're being seditious. It's the seditious six. They're telling people to not obey orders, even though that's not what they said, as you saw with that video. Okay. And then it comes out that maybe, just maybe, old Pete actually might have given an order that might have been unlawful. That was denied, right? He didn't do that, no. And it comes out that that actually did happen. They have footage of it, apparently, and the White House eventually admitted it with Caroline Leavitt, saying that was completely legal, even though it is not at all. It isn't. It isn't. If the enemy is incapacitated in the water, it does directly violate the Geneva Conventions. That is if, just to be clear with you guys, these Geneva Conventions only apply during armed conflict, right? Which I would argue, from what I understand, the boats that they have been striking, we don't even have any proof that they were even a threat, a direct threat to the U.S., because that's the thing, is it needs to be a direct, imminent threat, not through chemical warfare due to the drogas. That is a crime, and if it is a crime, there is a different set of rules for if it were wartime or an armed conflict. If it were proven that those drogas were even on those boats in the first place, or that if they even were coming to the United States in the first place. And since we are not at war or direct armed conflict, and we know that because Congress hasn't officially declared war, we know that because these boats pose no harm to the U.S. or the military, aside from their claim of chemical weapons, again, which is not determined as an imminent threat. I'm repeating myself on purpose so you understand. There are U.S. laws for such a thing, of which they have violated. And if we were officially at war, it would still be a crime. It would be a war crime. They were not given quarter. We don't even know the details of all the other boats that have been struck upon. And now they are going to begin land strikes. I bring all this up to you because, again, I look at what's happening with the pardon of the Honduran president and knowing the amount of drogas he was pushing into this country, actually, provenly so, and he gets a pardon. It's weird. It's weird. And what's infuriating about it to me is how can you do both of those things side by side, knowing that it looks hypocritical at best, right in front of our faces, and expect us not to notice. We have so much video footage and conversations and people saying actual words and being able to look up these things. And I know you might be thinking, the government does this to us all the time. They lie to us all the time. What makes this different? The Democrats and the Republicans are all the same, right? Doesn't matter who we vote for. It doesn't matter who we choose. But I want you to remember two main things. One, all of these people that do these things, whether it be this current administration or previous ones, we have chosen to let these people into leadership positions. We chose them. Could be various environmental reasons as to why we chose them, but we chose them. That makes everybody accountable for these decisions. I'm not pointing a finger at you, whoever voted for him. I'm saying to you, if you can choose that, you can unchoose it. And that goes for everybody. Don't settle for a lesser standard just because we chose badly in the past too. My second point to you all is we have too much information at our fingertips to have the excuse of, I don't know anymore. I didn't know it was going to be this way. We have too many previous examples of history, too much information on what's going on now. Yes, you do have to filter through it and make sure it's the correct information, sure. But you no longer have the excuse of they're all the same, just claiming that blindly and not actually looking at the details. I can't think of any other administration that would have pardoned that Honduran ex-president. I don't know if any one of them would have, especially alongside doing what's going on now. What would be the point of pardoning him, aside from what she said to you? I pardon the ex-crypto CEO whose company also donated money to the ballroom being attached to the White House. That company going through multiple legal challenges of its own. Why pardon known fraudsters, right? People taking advantage of the elderly. Why? The reason why I think this is different is because before they weren't so blatant with the corruption. Now they just do it right in your face. It's just right in your face. And they smile at you and they call it transparency. Hey, we're transparently screwing you over. He doesn't even know who he pardons. That CEO I talked to you about earlier doesn't even remember him. That's been caught in an interview. Again, video evidence. But he's talking about Biden and the auto pen. He can't even remember. That's what he says, at least. Another reason why I feel like this is different from previous administrations is the lack of accountability. How many times have you heard this administration admit fault? At the very least, without a lot of obfuscation beforehand. Even though we can directly call to the laws in place that make these orders illegal, they still tell us that they are lawful. Oops. We messed up. Our dude messed up. We are taking care of it. We are getting them out of there and getting somebody better, right? They said they double down, triple down, quadruple down. What is that about? Where is the accountability? Where is the quality? Look what happened with the government shutdown. What did they do? They tried everything they could to blame rather than fix the issue. I mean, let's just be real. That's what they did. They didn't try to fix it. They just blamed. They just hold firm and blamed the whole time. Put it all over the government website, all over the place, in airports. How do you trust leadership that just does that? They just stand firm and double down. And I know you know good leaders don't do that. The difference is they are attempting to have us settle for less. We didn't like it before when they were lying behind closed doors. We shouldn't like it even more now they're lying to us directly to our faces. Don't put up for less. We're supposed to move forward, okay? It's not backwards. Okay, I'm done. Like and share if you like what I'm saying. Comment if you do or don't. Let me know what you think. And yeah, we will talk later.
I'm totally disgusted because it wasn't only myself, it was my elder mother in her 90s and my sister as well. We all got defrauded.
That was Carol Ann Turturra, one of more than 10,000 victims of fraudster David Gentile, whose 7-year prison sentence was shockingly commuted by President Trump just a few days ago. He was sentenced to 7 years in prison. He served only about 12 days. And when you read the letters of his victims that the prosecution submitted to a judge earlier this year, they're really heartbreaking. Senior citizens who can no longer afford to retire, who can't afford vital medical treatments to pay for their disabled children, all because of this more than $1.6 billion Ponzi scheme, according to prosecutors.
My late husband had just died, and I was told, wonderful products to get into. You've got to do this. Let's get your family into them. I mean, my mother lost over $100,000. My sister is in the same boat as I am.